Today I'm doing Roblox Studio and I'm going to do a basic beginner's tutorial on scripting basically. And in this video I'm going to cover 5 things. Variables, how to make a part disappear and reappear, how to make a part change colour, how to make a currency that doesn't save, because that would be too complicated for beginners, and how to do open and closing GUIs and things like that. So let's get started. Anyway, sorry about that. Right, so first I'm going to do the disappearing and reappearing, because variables can be in using stuff, and I might as well, and you can use the variables in lots of different things. So I'm going to do them both together. Just So right, I'm going to insert a part into the workspace, which is here in the Explorer. If you don't have the Explorer, you also need, actually you probably don't need that, but it might be quite helpful. If you don't have either of these two, Properties or Explorer, then you go into View and look, and make sure that Properties is ticked and Explorer is ticked. There, make sure it's on. Anyway, and you see when I click this part in the Explorer, it'll highlight it there. And I'm just going to call that disappearing part. That's what we're going to do. So let's do it. So first you insert a script into it, and here first I'm going to do a variable. So local part equals script.parent. So what this is doing is it says whenever it's basically making a variable, which is called part, and it's making it so it's the script, so it gets the script, and then it's the parent of the script, which is the thing above it. So that's a variable, and they say, and how to do disappearing and reappearing, to do while true do. Now this creates a forever loop, so it'll constantly do it forever unless you put the word break in there, which breaks the loop that carries on. But if you don't do that, then it would just carry on forever. So it says local part equals script.parent while true do part. So then it's getting there. It's getting the script.parent, and then to make it disappear, see the transparency here is 0. If I turn it to 1, it disappears. And turn it to 0, it reappears again. That's what this script's going to do. So it's going to go part.transparency, which basically gets this is the part here, and it gets the transparency there is equals 1. And I'll set that up to 1. Then you do wait, say, a second. So we wait 1, and then part.transparency equals 0. And then you wait another second. And then you leave it like that. And basically that'll as soon as it runs, it goes past this and runs into there. And then it runs this, and then it waits a second, then it runs this and waits a second, and then it will just another loop doing that. And that should hopefully, if I just run the game, that part disappear and reappear. There you go. It's still there. I mean, but it's still there. It's just you can't see it. So and that is how to do a disappearing and reappearing part and use the variable things. Right, so on to the next one, which is how to change a part's colour. And delete the script in there, I don't need it anymore, and call it colour changing part. I'm doing long names, I don't know why, but I just am. Right, and here you basically do insert a script, and I'm going to say local part equals script.parent. Now you don't actually have to do this variable bit. It's just then you have to do a script.parent.transparency or script.parent.can collide or something. You don't need to, you just do the same thing over and over again. Well, this takes a lot less effort. Right, anyway. This is while true do. So again it's a loop. It says part dot brick color, which is this brick color. Now this is where it might get a bit more confusing. Do equals brick color dot new, and then you basically put in what the color's called, like medium stone grey, that's called. You have black, brick yellow, bright red, bright violet. So so it's changing the brick color to like this whatever it is. So in the brackets and inside those you put whatever it's called now. Really blue is like a dark blue, and then so you wait 1 second, then it might go part.brick color. You do have to do that thing at the start there, equals brick color dot new, and then maybe really red, really red, and then wait 1 part dot brick color equals brick color dot new really black, and maybe wait 1 second, and then when I run the game the part will change between those 3 colours. So it's already changed to blue, look, red, black, blue, red, black, blue, red, black, blue, red, black. So it'll constantly keep changing like that. So that is how to make a part change colour. Now there is loads more, like if I just copy and paste that. Copy. Control V. There's loads and loads of colours that you can select. There's loads of colours that you can select from. And how to see what colour you want, if you don't know what colour it's going to be and you want it to be a specific colour, you basically you can change like the part here and click here, and then you have this colour, and say you want it to go that colour. And yeah, you think I want to change to that colour, and then you look and you go to the properties section and then look at brick colour, it says cyan, and then that's the colour that you would put in here, cyan. So that's how you would do that. Right, next is a money script. Now we don't need a part for that. How to create like the money section when you play like a tycoon, say, and it has like how many coins you have in the top corner here. That's what I'm going to work on next. So first, you need to insert a script into server script service here, and I'm going to call it currency script. You can just call it script, but it's just if you've got like loads of other scripts in there as well, and they're all called like scripts, and you don't name them, it can get really confusing because you don't know which one does what. And if you need to delete one, you don't because it didn't work, you don't know which one you got to delete. So that's why you can name your scripts. Sometimes you don't. Like if there's only going to be one script in the section, then it doesn't matter. But I mean, you can still do it if there's only one script in the section if you want to. But anyway, right, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to say game, which instead of getting the script, it gets to like all of this. And game.players. Now that's basically getting this here. And it says, and then you've got to put colon, player, dot player added colon connect function, and then put open like that, and then put player. Now basically what that does is it basically whenever this is triggered, whatever all the code that happens in this section between this and the end, whatever happens in there is triggered when a player joins the game. And there is actually, I'll show you another thing. So you can go get game.players.player removing colon connect function. You don't like that, and that will basically trigger that as trigger it if a player's leaving the game. Now, and if you notice, I didn't put in that one there. No, I didn't put player in there, and that's because what this thing does here is I've made it so whenever the person joins the game, it'll almost like give them a variable as the player. You'll give them a variable. And then what you need to do next is say local, it's a variable here, local folder equals instance.new folder. And what this is do is it creates a folder, and it names that folder what is it, and it makes the variable of that folder, which is this. But before you think that's just the folder, well, it doesn't quite work like that. You have to do other stuff and set its properties. Otherwise it won't spawn in because it doesn't have enough properties. So here I say folder, you have to give it a name. So folder.name equals, and now this is really important, leader stats. Now I'm just going to wait here a minute and make sure that you get that precisely. No capital letters at all, has to be spelled exactly like that. So I'm just going to give you like 10 seconds. Right, that's 10 seconds. But that I only did that just in case, like, in case you got it wrong, because then it won't work. I mean, you can just change it. You can go into script and change it, but it's just in case. And you think, oh, so this tutorial wrong with me, I might eventually be wrong when like 2000, when it's like when this YouTube tutorial has been on YouTube a while, I might go wrong. But anyway, right. So once you got the folder.name, then you have to assign it a parent. So as you saw with the script that I had in the part, it had a parent, wasn't it? Then you got to assign it a parent. You've got to basically say what the parent is. So to do that, you do folder to a parent equals. Now the folder's parent will be equal to this player variable here. So the folder is going to be into player. It's not like you're going to grab a folder and stick it in the player. No, it's just because the player, if I'm just going to join the game, play here, I'll join the game. In players, when I join, that is me. This is me. It spawns on them, backed by a 9. And yeah. And it does that. Now and that is assigned the variable for the player. That's me. So what you have to do is you basically have to set the folder's parent as player. And then that won't give you your money. That sets a folder called leader stats, which is all the stats in the corner of your money, which shows. To create the actual money, you then go local, say cash, and you call it, equals instance.new int value. Now that creates a new value, because if I just say this is an int value, and it has a number as its value. You can't like put any letters. Actually, you can put letters. That's funny. But anyway, it's supposed to be a number value. Like there is actually something called a number value, but it's like supposed to be have a number. It's supposed to have a number. No, it's going to be a number, and whatever, and that it's say cash equal cash dot name equals. Now this isn't as important as the leader stats naming. You can just call it cash, or you can call it coins, or you could call it money, or and whatever you want to call it. But I want to call it cash at the moment. But it's just what you want your currency to be called. You can even do like a made up currency, and you call it the made up currency's name. That's just what the currency is going to be called. And then cash dot value. So that's getting the value of it, and basically this is what a player is going to be assigned, how much money they'll have when they join the game. So you just put a number here. So say if you want the player to spawn with 1,000 cash, then you put 1,000 there. So if you want the player to spawn with 0.5 cash, it actually puts 0.5 there. But I want mine to have 50. So that's nice. If you want yours to be 100, if you want yours to be 1 billion, you could put 1 billion instead of that 50, or 250. It depends what you want. And then the final thing is cash dot parent has to be equal to the folder, which is why we did this at first. Now as soon as you join the game, in the corner here of cash, 50 cash. And actually if I want to change that, sorry about that, you sneeze. But if I want to change that and say now I want 100 cash, because I'll say it, and I want 100 cash, I go into here and you look, leader stats, the folder that we made in the scripts here, and in there is this cash value, and it's equal to 50, and as soon as you change it to like 150, changes 150 there. If I change it to 0.005, it changes to what? Oh, even do -1, but that's not actually supposed to happen. But yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's how it works. So that is how to do a money script. Now the next thing is GUIs. GUIs can be really helpful. Like you could have a Game Pass GUI where it like buys you like a robot, like it costs like and there's buttons that you know those screens that you sometimes click, like you click on the side and then a thing comes up and maybe it's a Game Pass GUI and you click on one of the Game Pass and it asks you to buy it if you want to buy it, and then you click buy. Like the black screen for a Game Pass is that's automatic. That doesn't like do anything. That's automatic. But it's the other GUIs that aren't automatically. You have to create them in this thing here, which is called Starter GUI. You can rename workspace, players, lighting, all that. You can rename it, but I prefer it to keep it as how it is. And here, I already have this. Some people might not, but I don't know what it is. I always spawn with the. I always spawn whenever I come into a Roblox Studio game. That's always there. But anyway, just forget this script here. Just forget that Roblox Interactive quicker. So when you click the plus here, insert a Screen GUI, and you might want to call this open. I'm going to call it Open GUI. If you want that, and then I'm going to insert a text button. Now make sure it's a text button and not a text box. That won't work. It has to be a text button. And I'm gonna basically now keep the anchor point 0.5, 0.5. Actually no, that doesn't really matter than that. Here, I'll keep it 0.0. And obviously yours is hopefully going to be a lot nicer than mine. I'm just doing this for a tutorial. I'm not actually going to use this as a full game or anything. I'm just going to like scrap this game afterwards pretty much. And yeah, and set the position here. So this is X, which goes across. The first brackets is X. The second brackets is Y, which goes up and down. Now I rarely use these second things now because that's offset, and basically if that's how many pixels I think or something. If I say 20 offset, that's 20 down, and it might be like, for me, if I just measure it, it's about this much. But for people say on a different computer monitor, it might be this much, or it might be this much, or it might be this much. Even though you don't even get that big of a monitor. But that's why I don't really use it. Whereas if you use, whereas if I use the first, like these ones, say 0.1, it would have gone back and then like gone there. It's that much, but it will always stay that much for whatever you're on. It's just a way of keeping it neat. And if that's set to 1 instead of 0.1, it goes right to the other end there. That's one section, and that's one section that way. So yeah, I'm going to keep it at 0.5, which means that is not quite directly halfway, actually, because that's where it's measuring from. So that point there is halfway, but the actual things are just slightly under. If I set that to 0.5, 0.5 though, it's exactly halfway, but I easy. So I'm just going to call that open. Or make it say open, and then I'm going to call it open. And then next I'm going to basically add a frame. Put it in the middle. I don't really care. It's just a GUI. Just a strange GUI. And inside here, yours is going to be a lot nicer. You can have like other things. And inside here, I'm going to have another text button that's just going to say like really small, like 0.5, 0.5 and stuff like that. And it's going to have an X, be a big X. Text scaled, just play around with the properties, make it whatever you want. This isn't, oh no, that's not what I want. This isn't going to be very nice, I can tell. It's not supposed to be for nice, it's supposed to be for things. So say that's your GUI and this is your button, and call it close. Now to make this button open, because at the moment when I join the game it does absolutely nothing when you click it. So to make it open this up and this up here, you've got to insert a local script. Make sure it's a local script and not this script, this type of script. It's got to be this type of script with this person here. It's got to be that type of script, otherwise it'll go crazy. I think what'll actually happen is it'll still work when you click it. It'll still open it up, but it'll open up on everyone's screen. So whenever someone clicks that button, the GUI comes up for everyone. And when someone clicks the X to come off, the GUI comes off for everyone. And that might not necessarily be good, but with these local scripts, it'll come up for only you. So that's what the local scripts are using GUIs for. Anyway, so let's say local frame equals script.parent, which is the open here, .parent, which is the parent of that, is the open GUI, .frame. So that basically gets the child, because these are the children of this, so it finds the child that's called frame, which is this child here. And then go down, it says script.parent.mouse button one click :connect function, and you don't need to put a player in there. That's just for that specific script and money. And that will be, so basically what this will do is it will run this piece of code whenever this button here is clicked. It runs code, and and it says frame.visible equals true. So in the frame, if I just I know it's visible here, but if I just basically click off visible there, it goes away. And what the script will do is it'll turn it on and it'll appear. So that's what that's going to do. And that's all the script that's needed for that. And this close button's a very similar script, but you don't really need to make a variable because you just need to say script protocol. It's not that much. So I'm just going to say script.parent.mouse button one click :connect function, and it does the same thing whenever this button here is clicked. It'll do that, and it says the script.parent.parent, which is the frame.visible equals false. And that, if I play, the GUI won't come up at first, and hopefully when I click it, it comes up. When I click that, it goes away. So there you go, and that is my beginner's tutorial. So if you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe. Thank you very much. If this helped you, then I am glad that my video helped you. That's all I have to say to that, really. So anyway, bye.